Okay, dude, you have to buy stuff directly from Ferrari.
Right, yeah.
They just make you feel special. They got like Ferrari wrapping paper. They gave me a Ferrari bag. I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I own a Ferrari. But I don't.
Yeah,
Maybe in the future.
it's next level, that's for sure. Like, it is very, very good.
And I think if you spend a stupid amount on a hoodie, which, by the way, this is
Which you
so
have.
nice. It feels epic. It feels soft. It's good. Fits well. I'm not a fan of like the giants. I've got the Leclerc one, and it's like 16. I'm not a fan of the giant 16 around like the stomach area.
Yeah,
but it's pretty good.
So
also,
for audio
wait.
listeners, Ash has bought the Vegas limited edition hoodie.
Yes, the red and white one.
Yes. And what was that on the hood?
Oh, so on the hood,
Yeah.
You have the Puma logo and Joshua Vides. It was the artist.
Oh, the artist. Yes, nice.
Yeah, they had a collaboration with.
Nice.
Gosh, I feel like Charles Leclerc, but without the looks or the money or the driving skills.
So you just have depression, or yes. Hello, welcome everyone to the 107 podcast with myself, Ash. Myself, Jacob, and Ash. I was very distracted because I have a little doggo with me. For
so
audio
cute.
listeners who won't be able to see, Bucky is with me at the moment. Don't really know, why are you here? He just decided to get on my lap. But we are here to talk about Abu Dhabi. I will first off apologise for not having an episode published for our preview or thoughts or like get ready for. We didn't work out a time. We just didn't work out a time.
We're not full-time content creators, so life gets in the way. Pay bills and stuff. But what we can do is lie about our predictions.
Oh yes, I predicted that this would be the fastest lap, and I think we have our predictions in our WhatsApp chat, right? I mean, both of them were wrong, other than Max winning. So I mean.
So my prediction was Max, of course, and then I put Lando second and Charles third.
Yeah.
So okay. I kind of got 2 out of 3 at the podium.
Yeah.
What was yours? You had Perez.
I think Perez third, Max first, and then I think I said Lando second.
Okay.
So yeah, but I'll be honest. I think I have overestimated. Obviously, McLaren came forward leaps and bounds after the summer break, but then they sort of fallen back a teeny tiny bit after like Japan, Qatar. After those sort of races, they've sort of fallen back a little bit, and I think that's just because other teams have also brought upgrades, and so the upgrades are out of sync. So I'm over predicting how well McLaren will do. They still did very well, obviously, in Abu Dhabi this weekend, but I think I'm thinking that they're going to do better than they actually do. Also, I'm incredibly biased. Those to papaya tinted glasses. So
yeah. Oh, you're wearing orange. I'm wearing red.
I am.
Colourful.
I do have my McLaren Lando Norris T-shirt. Oh God, I knocked the mic because I was trying to stroke my dog. So orange and red on the podcast.
We have a colourful episode today.
We do.
But, I think they've got the qualifying pace. It was just the race pace was a little bit off.
I mean that last like push from Lando, it was very clearly either I'm going to stick this on pole or I'm going to put it in the wall, and somehow he managed to save it. Really, really impressive. I thought he did fantastically. Just very, very unlucky not to finish off that quali lap, because then obviously he would have been further up the field for sure.
Yeah, but also good on Charles for putting it on the front row.
Yeah,
again. So I think. Do we want to say it? Do we want to say that it bodes well for Ferrari next year?
No, we're not going to give anyone hope because that would be bad. I mean, Ferrari fans already probably don't have the best mental state, so I don't exactly want to make it any worse.
You can't set yourself up for disappointment, can you?
Oh, good job. Somebody broke the mic. But yeah, so
Ferrari.
No, you're right. Yes, classic Ferrari. But yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. But the only other, like, I guess, big story to come out of quali was obviously Carlos being so far down. Speaking of Ferrari, what did you think of Carlos's quali?
I think it was just, I want to say mismanaged, but it's just one of the things where They needed the lap. They went out. There was traffic. He just couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
And
I think,
to be honest, I don't.
go on.
I just think I know they're fighting for second in the championship, but I think part of it is like, well, we just don't care anymore.
Well, I think
like,
that also, like, let's be honest. Yes, second in the championship is good, but I think that if they finish third, they get more wind tunnel time.
Yeah, but I think they'd rather want second to say, look, we were runners up and
True.
get the extra prize money. And it's just that, look, we came second and only to Red Bull.
I get the money, but also I feel like with like at the moment, again, I'm probably completely wrong, let's be honest. But I feel like with money and wind tunnel times, because obviously the budget for these teams has been capped so much, they're not spending anywhere near as much as they used to. So the prize money won't matter that or as much, I guess, to the bigger teams. To the smaller teams like Williams and Haas, of course, but I think it will matter less so. It's more about bragging rights and wind tunnel time for the bigger teams. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think they would have wanted second, especially as well how, and we'll talk about it when we talk about the race, just how Charles was like, what do I need to do? Tell me the gap. Shall I let Sergio pass? Everything. He was really trying to get second in that Constructors' Championship. Probably more than most of Ferrari.
One of the F1 TV presenters, they actually said maybe that's partly because they have like a Constructors' Championship like bonus associated in contracts, which could be a thing. I don't know. I'm not accusing anyone of trying to be like a money grabber or anything like that, but like that could be something to consider.
It could be, but I think also the bonus would be for the whole team as well, wouldn't it? I guess every single person in the team would get a bonus if they do something for being a position in the championship. Because I know they do it if you win the constructors.
Yeah.
Well, from what I've heard, Red Bull and Mercedes do give a bonus out. But as for coming for second,
no idea.
I'm not sure.
No idea at all.
But
anyway, race. Let's talk about the race. It was
decent
enough,
I found,
I think, right?
Yeah, I found it quite good. You could tell within the first few corners, like there were a couple of moments where I thought Charles could send it, but I think he was playing the long game. He's like, look, if I damage a car, Carlos is down, and was it P16 or P17? It's like, we're not getting these points for the potential second. Because I definitely think at the end of that straight, he could have done what Verstappen did to him in Vegas and just hang it around.
Potentially,
a little bit. But then he's like, Max is going to get past me anyway. Let's just protect second and see what I can do. And good race from George as well. I think he needed that as well for his confidence to have a podium.
It was only at the end of the season.
I know, considering like how he's driven well. I think as well. He's qualified well. I think ended up a
draw.
Was it? Draw, 11-11. I keep thinking it's 23 races because of all the ads, but there was no Imola.
No Imola,
So ended up as a draw. And the McLaren struggled. So we go very quickly. McLaren struggled with the race pace, I think. So Lando dropped back a little bit. Oscar definitely struggled. Fernando just did what Fernando did. And Sergio made his way through.
What do you think about the brake testing? So I don't think it was brake testing, personally. I feel as though cold tyres, he's attacked the corner and he's gone, I'm a bit close to that wall, lads. I'm gonna apply the brake. And Hamilton's blown it out of proportion.
I don't think he brake tested him.
No.
I think, he probably braked a little bit early and was off the accelerator a little bit early, but I don't think he did, like you said. There was also no reason for him to brake test him as well. So if it's like something had happened earlier on in the race, then I could maybe see him trying to get revenge, but no, I don't think he brake tested him.
No, I think, cold tyres, just coming out of the pit, trying to, maybe he was, because you know how he looks in his mirrors, he turns his head to look in the mirrors quite a lot. He could have just turned his head to look in the mirror and then gone, oh, wait, hold on a minute, that wall's a hell of a lot closer than I thought it was, and you just instinctively brake, so maybe, I don't know. What about Alpine?
Alpine, I don't know. They're just confusing, aren't they? Even Gasly doesn't know what's going on.
No idea.
I do want to talk about Yuki.
Oh yeah, can we also mention that Yuki met his hero this weekend? Do you know who his hero is?
He did. Yeah, he's that hero's son. Did you hear what he
brilliant.
said? His iPhone name is Jason Statham's son. So when he Bluetooths, seriously, when he Bluetooths like to the car, it's like connecting to Jason Statham's son.
That's
So,
brilliant.
Oh, it's amazing how like Jason Statham is his hero.
Yeah, it's such a random thing. I don't know why. Like, I get it, but like, I don't know why him. Like, that's so random,
Well,
but I absolutely love it.
Like a bit of a personal story. Like my dad like grew up with like Marlon Brando, The Godfather, and all. His favorite actor is Mark Wahlberg.
What?
I know. That's he goes. I just love every Mark Wahlberg film, all of them. He just loves Mark Wahlberg as an actor.
All right.
So it's probably a similar thing where like Yuki's just connected, and it's just like, yo, Jason Statham's my guy.
Clearly loves the Meg.
Do you know what? Clearly, you should play Yuki in a Formula One film.
Oh, that would be hilarious. Just with no context, like whatsoever.
Don't even try and put on like a Japanese accent or anything.
No. I want him in like a really badly fitting wig as well. So like it's like everyone else is cast perfectly, but Jason Statham with like a really shit wig, playing Yuki Tsunoda. That would be so good, so good.
And then, like, if he gets into an incident on track and just trying to just kick ass, just trying to fight Max Verstappen.
Oh, that would be so good. Oh, I would pay a lot of money to watch that. Brad Pitt, if you need any other ideas for your F1 film, let us know. But yeah, no, I thought that was awesome. But
it can be like the Formula One cinematic universe. Yeah. And like at the end of the film, like Jason Statham just pops up.
F1 CEO.
in Alpha Tauri racing suit and just ready to like just kick ass.
It's the sort of thing where like he would randomly I think he's going to be in the next Fast and Furious. He would just turn up wearing a Yuki Tsunoda like driver cap for no reason. Like just in the film for no reason.
That would be so brilliant.
Like, or do you know
stuff like that just would have be amazing. Yuki make a cameo and like just saving Jason Statham.
Please. Please make it happen, guys. Make it happen. But Yuki had, I think, was it his best like finishing position ever? Or his best quali position ever? I know that for sure.
I'm not sure, but he was the second Japanese driver to ever lead a Formula One race.
After?
Takuma Sato.
Yes.
That's what they said on the commentary.
Yeah.
I'm just rewording it.
Yeah, they said that on F1 TV commentary as well, and like they quizzed David Coulthard.
Since we're just like, I mean, Max won the race. It's the last race. There wasn't really much to fight for apart from the constructors, and we're just mishmashing around. Can I make a complaint about the race direction?
Okay, sure, go for it.
Because I made this complaint to you.
Yes, you did. The floor is yours.
Infuriating that there's a real battle on between Mercedes and Ferrari for P2 in the constructors, right? And Charles has gone all big brain, playing 4D chess. It's like, well, if I let Sergio pass, and I know he's got a 5-second time penalty, and then he will get those points, and then I can like be within 5 seconds, and like George will then go behind, and it's just like whatever's going through his head, driving a car at 200 miles per hour, all fair play to him. And they were showing the battle with Lewis, and I can't remember who it was.
Was it Fernando?
I think it was Yuki.
Or Yuki?
No, I think it was Yuki. And I'm like, okay, that's good. There's a battle going on, but this is more important. And I want to see like, where's he going to let him past? Is it going to work? What's going to happen? And they're like, it's really annoying.
Yeah, I understand. The F1 TV direction wasn't too bad because they had side-by-side pictures at a couple of points. But I completely understand how that would be really, really frustrating. Sorry, my dog would like to go down now, so I've just got to move my headphone cable out of the way. Hi, Bush.
Okay. While you do that, I will send you the link and maybe we'll put it out on the socials. There's a YouTube video where they invited someone down to their production room, and it is absolutely mental.
Oh, I can imagine.
The production that goes in. The screens that are everywhere, the people creating the graphics, writing the team radios up. It's absolutely insane. And I'd highly recommend everyone watch it. It's really good.
Yeah, because I think that would be the same like war room, I guess, as they would have for like the F1 app, because obviously they have to have the F1 app going as well. So you might have one person writing up the driver radios and stuff like that for like one or two teams or whatever, and then you'd have to have somebody like working out whether or not that was, you know, good to feature on the race or not or whatever. So yeah, it must be a ridiculous workflow for sure. I'd love to be a fly on the wall like for one of the races and just see how they do it.
Watch the video, it's crazy. They even have like pre-written radio messages, like box. It's already pre-written, ready to go. They just have to attach the driver to it and stuff. So it's really, really cool. Really cool, actually. Yeah. And there's also another video which I'll send to you about just what goes into like flying everything over for all the teams. I think DHL did it. It is absolutely mental.
Yeah, the logistics behind Formula One are also absolutely insane.
To do it 23 times a year,
22.
Essentially without fault. No, they did go to Imola.
Yeah. Most of the stuff arrived.
Is without really fault. I mean, I'm sure stuff goes wrong, but they fix it.
Yeah,
it's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, it's very impressive how many working parts there are just to get 20 cars on a track for a couple of hours. You know, but yeah. So you spoke earlier about the time penalty that Sergio Perez had. And I don't think he did that badly this weekend. I think that had he not had that time penalty, he would have been on the podium, obviously. Probably.
Maybe, yeah. But I think he also put himself in that position with a poor qualifying.
Yeah, true. But do you agree with the penalty that Sergio got? This was an incident after the first long straight with Lando Norris where Sergio just essentially, I don't know, didn't really... I don't know, it was a bit of an odd one. I felt like 5 seconds was harsh-ish. And in the way that there was still a lot more room for Lando to go into. However, to be completely honest, Lando didn't really give Sergio that much space, but that's how you do overtakes. So I just think that it's just one of those ones where it was a 5 second time penalty as far as I'm concerned. It's just a little bit harsh. And I think those frustrations came out on the radio for Sergio, who was called up to the stewards after his radio message at the end of the race.
Yeah, he was.
Did you hear that?
I did hear about that. I was watching Ted's Notebook and he was called up to the stewards for some constructive criticism.
Yes, which honestly, completely agree with him, to be completely honest. The FIA direction this year has been all over the place. And I like I said, I can understand his frustration because he's been given a penalty, but at the same time, like, it was still deserved. And I think Lando's comments around like Sergio does tend to crash into people quite a lot. Also made it just that little bit funnier as well. Like, obviously, you have to remember that Sergio crashed into Magnussen in Japan. He's crashed into Lando this week as well. Like, he seems to be picking up quite a few incidents where he hits into people. I mean, Charles Leclerc in Mexico as well. Like, there's quite a few that you can pick out. And it may even be that he's getting a little bit of a reputation as, you know, difficult to overtake because, you know, he just makes a mistake or puts elbows out a little bit too much. But I don't know. Do you think that might be the case, or is this just another clumsy sort of thing from Perez?
Well, he doesn't help himself in qualifying out of position, which means he needs to make the moves and he wants to obviously get up as high as possible. But, you know, he's got the fastest car. He just needs to be a little bit more patient.
Yeah.
But that penalty was deserved. Lando gave him room on the inside. Lando is also entitled to go around the outside. And Perez just, you know, just like, no, I think I'll just keep going that way.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, it is also somewhat consistent of Vegas.
True.
Where, you know, Charles was on the outside and Max just pushed him out kind of thing. So, yeah, I think the penalty was deserved. Obviously, for next year, he's got to make sure he's qualifying a lot higher up on the grid. And also, if you want to know why, there's a really, really good... I haven't listened to it yet. I've listened to a clip podcast of Alex Albon on the High Performance podcast. He talks about like Max Verstappen's driving style. And he goes... the best way he describes it is like they actually have a similar driving style, which they like a good front end. But with Max, just imagine you're on a computer game and you you've just ramped up the sensitivity to like 100, and like every movement is just what the fuck is going to happen. That's what his driving style is like. So if you drive the same car as Max, someone like Alex or Pierre, who are very good drivers, they can't do what Max does because he's just in his own little world of feel and control. That's actually a pretty good way of explaining it. So he's like, the car is not built for Max. The car is not built for any driver. They just build the fastest car, and Max can just get more of that.
I guess better.
Yeah, Max can just get more out of it than anyone else. But yeah, I think Sergio, going back to what you said, Sergio deserved the penalty, and I think for next year he's just gonna work on his qualifying and just be a little bit more patient when making some of these moves.
He's gonna have to do a lot of work over the winter break, I think, especially
a lot of work.
Well,
he's got to go Nico Rosberg.
Yeah, he really does. I think. Did you see his comments where he said that he's aiming to win the championship next year?
I mean, if he said anything less, he's lost the championship.
True.
Right. I don't expect him to say anything less, but internally, if he's thinking, I can't beat Max, I'll never beat Max, etc., he's already lost it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, true.
You know, if you think you can or if you think you can't, you're right either way. Right. So he should be going in with a man's mindset of like, I can beat Max, I can.
Well, he did beat him at the beginning of the year, and then he just fell off completely. After race 4, 5, he just fell off randomly. Yeah. It was very strange. So I mean,
well, wasn't it like they said they made some changes to the car? Was it around Barcelona time? And he didn't gel with it as much as Max did. So yeah, well, I mean, but the best drivers, they're the ones that are most adaptable. Lewis, Fernando. So we shall see.
We shall. Yeah. So we talked about Alpine. We talked about obviously Carlos. Carlos was marked as a DNF.
Oh, did they retire him at the end or something?
I didn't know that.
Let's have a quick look.
I don't know what happened there. It just says
Carlos Sainz DNF did not finish. Yeah,
must have pitted him. But yeah, so and he still technically finished above Valtteri and Kevin. So that's very interesting. But the only other thing I was going to talk about actually very quickly was Williams. I think
secured P7.
Yeah, secured P7 in the championship with a little bit of luck. If I'm completely honest, I think Yuki could have probably scored a couple more points. But hats off to Williams. Alex did decent enough. I think he had an okay enough race. And Logan didn't finish last. Zhou Guanyu finished behind him. And I wanted to ask, especially based on the comments from James Vowles saying that, we want to work with him next year. And he said a couple of other bits and pieces as well. But he all but said he will be in the car. But he said it's not like the decision hasn't been made yet. It's not that it's out of his hands. It's that, I can't remember specifically. But he sort of alleged that it's not 100% sure just yet. And that is also very interesting to hear based off of the rumour which I told you about on the Saturday, in that Williams were potentially looking into how Frederick Vesti got on in the F2 Championship as well. So I really don't think that he's going to be in the car next year. I don't think he's going to be there based on the comments. It's out of my hands, because I think that there's some sort of internal struggle within Williams, potentially, where a few people feel like it's time to try somebody else.
Well, he did lose every single qualifying battle.
Every single one. I know he's a rookie. He is a rookie, and let's be honest, he's up against Alex Albon, who is a particularly good driver. So let's give him a little bit of credit where credit's due. But he only scored points on a technicality because Hamilton was, binned off in the US.
No. He got it without Hamilton.
Was that?
Yeah, he got P10, and I think he was promoted to P9.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
let me. Sworn he was P11 and got promoted to P10.
I thought, let's have a look. United States. Logan. Oh shit, maybe you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he
Okay.
got
Sorry, yeah,
promoted
you're right.
to P10, but Alex was P10 previously. But so I would argue that he was very unlucky in Zandvoort and could have potentially
No,
scored points there.
no. Sorry, because they put that down. All right, no, sorry. It's weird. I'm looking at the results. They put Lewis Hamilton as second,
Yeah,
but
but
they
they
put him as
DQ'd.
DQ.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's confusing.
Yes, but yeah, I would argue he was. Sorry, my dog's just coming again. He was unlucky in Zandvoort as well, which, I mean, he had a technical fault there. No driver fault as far as I'm aware. But at the same time, there's no harm in keeping him in the car, right? It's somebody somebody who, you've had for a year already. There's comfort in that. But I would argue that there is probably more opportunity or potentially a better driver out there who could fill in that seat.
I think he'll be there next year.
Okay, well, we'll have to wait and see. Knowing this podcast, we always record when there's some sort of breaking news, so it'll probably get confirmed literally as we're talking. But I don't think he's going to be in the car, and I just don't quite think he's proved that he deserves the seat. I just don't think he's done enough.
Yeah, I don't think he's done enough. I think he's improved throughout the year, but I think they're going to give him next year because I don't see who they can realistically bring in. I know you said Frederick Vesti, because I think
he
can still race
F2.
Frederick
Vesti
he can
cannot
still
race F2 anymore.
Yes, he can. Why? Theo Percher won.
Yeah, but this is Frederick. He's already said it's his last year. Like, he's done.
He just doesn't want to do it anymore.
I'm pretty sure.
I also think that he is somewhat known, so they kind of know where he's strong, where he's weak, and how they can help him, improve him. It probably does bring some money to the team. And I think with everything that's going to happen at the end of 2024, because a lot of driver contracts are up then, it gives them a little bit more leeway to be like, right, we're not going to put a rookie in and then have to change again. It's like, if Logan does well, we're kind of sorted. If not, it's 2024 and we can replace him with a rookie or someone that may become free from another team.
Yeah.
Could see Valtteri Bottas go back, kind of thing.
I mean, there's the outside chance, I think. But I don't know about that one. I think I think it's going to be very interesting, but obviously pretty much everyone else has contracts sorted for next year. So there's not that much limited availability. Obviously next year, but year after, you're right, the door is wide open for anyone to come in realistically. We'll have to wait and see.
Cool. I know we'll do like a proper season summary, and
we will. Yes.
At our predictions and who we give out some awards. We'll give out some awards. But I did like the fact that not everyone was there, but there could be reasons. They do the driver's dinner at Abu Dhabi.
Yes,
I saw on
always nice.
Stu's Instagram. That's really nice.
Same place that they did Seb's goodbye dinner as well, which is always nice. And obviously it's been a year without Sebastian Vettel, which I'm incredibly sad about. Obviously, for obvious reasons. Williams could put Seb in the car. I think that's something to note as well. Like it's been a little bit disappointing not to see Seb on the grid, but something which I'd finally gotten used to, and then he appeared in Japan. But I think this season as a whole, like reflecting back on it, has been a good enough season. It's been interesting. It's provided some interesting racing and stuff. It's just a little bit disappointing, I guess, if you're not a Red Bull fan, that Red Bull only lost one race of the 22. Like, they won 21 races this year, which is mad. But I did see a very interesting stat. Would you like to hear about the RB19? Would you like to hear it? Oh my God.
Yes.
So, the RB19, Max Verstappen, led 1,003 laps, right, during the whole season. Would you like to know how many laps the McLaren MP4-4 led during its dominant season?
This
is for both drivers combined. How many laps it led?
Oh, both drivers. There's less races.
Yeah, there was
Maybe
less races.
700?
1,003.
Oh, wow, it's exact.
Exactly the same.
But they have less races.
They did have less races, yes, but that shows you just how dominant that McLaren was as well.
So I'm thinking like a big chunk went from Singapore.
Yeah.
But then like Sergio won a few races.
Yeah, but this is obviously this is Verstappen's own versus the.
Oh, sorry, Verstappen. I thought you meant the Red Bull.
No,
sorry,
Verstappen on his own.
Okay.
I don't know what the combined is for Red Bull, but Verstappen on his own was 1,003, as was the MP4-4. I wanted to mention it because it's just a nice statistic. Like it's the same number. It just is a nice stat. But yeah, I think that it will be very interesting to see, how competitive or how dominant they are next year.
We'll talk about it in the review of 2023 and the preview of 2024. They're the team to beat.
Yeah, pretty much.
With no major regulation change, they're the team to beat, and it's going to be hard.
100%
to see a team make that massive jump.
Yeah,
considering they're also going to be increasing. So
I guess I have a wrap up question for you, and then I'd like to move on to what's going to happen now because it's the off season. We have at the time of lights out in Abu Dhabi, there were 98 days until lights out in Bahrain for the 2024 season. However, what did you think of the race? Just in and of itself, any other thoughts that you had around Abu Dhabi? There wasn't really too much else, I don't think. I've got one other thing, which after the race, which was very cool, which was Max's donuts at the end. Always entertaining to see donuts at the end of the year. And yeah, it's honestly that clip of him like with his finger up and like making circles with his finger from the car. It really is iconic to me. Anyway, it's just one of those things that will live in my head rent free. But yeah.
I will say this. I think it was pretty average race, to be honest with you. But now that you mentioned donuts, did you hear what happened with Charles?
No. Oh no.
Remember that saying? Was it man loses what little hope he didn't know he had?
Yeah.
So after going big brain, trying everything he could to get Ferrari second in the World Championship, he asked if he could do like donuts or burnouts at the end of the race. Todd, no.
Yeah, I think it's probably a similar-ish situation to, although Mick Schumacher did actually do it a couple of years ago, but I think it's one of the things where like they're using those cars for testing in like 2 days, so they don't want.
Come on, just give him something.
You're absolutely right. I think that they should have given him something. Just
do like 3 donuts. That's it.
Even just like,
but like, no, you can't do it. Like, gosh.
I always go with it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. He should have just pulled off and started doing them, or like accidentally unplugged his headset. Oh no, crime. But yeah, I don't know if anyone else did donuts. I think it might have just been Max. I don't know if any of the other drivers on the grid did. Maybe Yuki did some for Franz Tost.
Maybe, yeah.
No idea. Actually, that's not what I had for next. But yeah, Franz Tost obviously retired from AlphaTauri, from Formula One in and of itself. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. I want to say like legacy, but like a ridiculous time, like a lengthy time in Formula One. I think was it like 28 years or something like that. Maybe even longer.
I don't know, but he's been there for a long
time servant, yeah. And I think he was pretty well respected with like in and around the paddock. So yeah, happy retirement to Mr. Tost.
I'm sure we'll see him in the paddock.
Probably,
every now and then.
He'll be like, I think
like an ambassador or something,
right? He'll be back for like the Italian races and like coming in and saying hello and stuff. So yeah, he'll be around every now and again. A bit like Seb turning up with some bees for some reason. But yeah, But so obviously it's the end of the season, so we will be back at some point. We're not too sure on the schedule, but let's maybe give the ladies and gentlemen a little bit of a preview of what we're thinking of doing during the off season. So we have a rewards ceremony which we're going to do, which we need
rewards. Why are you calling it
rewards? Award ceremony. Sorry, we're going to do an
Yeah.
award ceremony of like the best bits and pieces during the season. We're going to do a season review. We're going to do a few of the bits and pieces as well, because we have to fill the void somehow.
We will fill the void somehow.
Yeah, exactly. But also, it's good to know and good for us to let you guys know that we won't be slowing down. Maybe a little bit, but we won't be stopping.
Maybe over Christmas we
yeah.
might skip a week. Or something.
Or we might record like a couple of mini episodes, like 10-15 minute episodes that we can publish to keep you entertained, keep the ball rolling. Because consistency is key when trying to build a podcast or build anything. To be honest with you, so.
Yeah. What was the stat? Most podcasts stop after, was it 3 episodes? Or something?
Yeah, most podcasts stop after like 3 episodes. So I think for us,
we're in the 50s.
Yeah, we're in the 50s now. This is we seem to be going pretty well. In all honesty, isn't it a bit mad to think how like where we started from, all the way through to
crazy.
now.
And it, just seeing like some of our reels get like millions of views. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, we've had like 3 or 4 now. Like
we're on 3. What 3? Yeah.
So it was the Massa one, the Hamilton one, and
the Abu Dhabi one.
The Abu Dhabi one. But you've forgotten my Lance Stroll one.
Does that hit 1 million?
Yeah, the Lance Stroll one where POV or Lance Stroll at the Qatar Grand Prix, and it was James Hunt punching the
oh wow,
punching the steward. No, not steward. Marshall. So,
oh wow, I didn't know that. That's cool.
There's one more. It I remember telling you I woke up and it had like 1.1 million views, and I was what the hell? And it was like pretty much all from Facebook, which is very very odd. Because we don't even have a Facebook page. We should probably just chuck one up, to be completely honest with you, because then we can cross post between Facebook and Instagram.
I thought Instagram does it already. Does it not?
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying like, we should just cross post. We should just get that set up. I can do it. It's fine. But it's ridiculous to think how far we've come in 8-9 months.
It's been a fun journey.
Yeah, it's been good. So we just need to carry on this momentum.
We're in our Toro Rosso era.
Yeah. We haven't won a race just yet, but we're on our Toro Rosso era. But we need to crack on over the winter break. So we will be back. We'll be back next week with something. We don't know what we're going to do. Are we going to do season review next week? I think that's probably...
We'll do the season review next week because it's fresh, and do a little bit of a preview. And it gives us also time to think about the awards.
Yes.
What we want to do.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think we should do awards. You called it rewards then. I don't think...
No, I said awards.
I thought you said rewards. I think you said rewards.
No, I said awards. We'll go back and listen to it.
Yeah. We are quite literally recording this. We will know who is right. We'll come back with some awards and stuff like that. And so obviously if you have any suggestions for award categories, please let us know on Instagram. I'm going to pop up a question as well after this podcast.
The crazier, the better.
Yeah, the most ridiculous categories are absolutely amazing. And we will do our best to have some fan favorites thrown in there as well. We'll do the usual, best livery and
best helmet.
Best helmet. We'll do what the best race was, the most surprising or the best performance and stuff like that. But we want to know what the funniest moment or most awkward moment and stuff like that. We'll figure some stuff out. We'll definitely do that.
Cool.
Any suggestions? But yeah, cool. Well, other than that, I think we've been recording now for 39 minutes. So unless you have anything else, I think we should probably, let these people get back to their commutes in silence, or I guess maybe auto playing the next episode or whatever.
Or
whatever
hitting a few reps at the gym, Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick. God damn it. Don't put those weights down. We need one more. One more!
I think let's just end it with
let's stop with Patrick.
I think you should end it. I think we should end it with, I'm just going to bring up the quote now. I spelled Vettel's name wrong.
Good job.
Where it was. We have to remember these days because there's no guarantee that they will last forever. And we just witnessed one of the greatest individual performances in Formula One history. We'll probably see for a long, long time. So, you're going to be telling your grandkids or granddogs about this.
I was there. I watched that season.
I watched this man dominate.
I now have PTSD whenever I hear the Dutch or Austrian national anthem. Actually, I watched the F2 race and I watched the showdown between Vesti and Pourchaire, right? And it was very weird hearing the Danish national anthem on the TV. I don't think I'd ever heard it. Did
you stand up and put your? Did you stand up and put your hand on your heart?
Hand over my heart, but I hadn't heard it in a while. I was like, oh yeah, this is what it sounds like to have a different song on the podium. And it's the first time ever during an F1 season where the British national anthem wasn't on the podiums or anything. How odd.
Mental. Absolutely mental.
Yeah. Obviously we had the Austrian national anthem for the Milton Keynes based team.
Had the Italian national anthem, the Spanish one, Dutch and Mexican.
Italian, Spanish, Dutch, Mexican. That was it. Wow.
But when was the last time someone had a truly dominant season and then they replicated it the year after? Because I'm thinking Vettel was pretty dominant in 2011, but then 2012 was a mix.
Yeah.
And then he was dominant in 2013, but then 2014 was taken over by the Mercs.
Yeah.
Mercs were good in 2020, and then 2021 was 2021.
Yeah.
And then I'm probably thinking back to the Schumacher era.
Yeah.
03, 04 was probably.
Schumacher, yeah. I think you're right.
So if we look at history, then maybe it could be a little bit more competitive next season.
Mika Hakkinen, he won 2 in a row. Was he dominant? I can't remember.
I think he was fighting Michael at the time.
Yeah, he fought Michael, but I don't know how dominant those seasons were. But that's just a question for the Flying Finn. Well, not for him, but about him. I don't know how dominant those seasons were off the top of my head.
We'll have to have a look at it. We'll ask him.
Yeah, I'll just send him a message on Instagram. Why not?
Instead of
googling it, I'll just ask him. But I just don't know how dominant those seasons were. But I was trying to think back-to-back champions.
Well, in '98 there were 16 races and he won half of them.
That's quite good.
In '99 there were 16 races again and he won 5. So
okay, so
I
less.
Don't think it was,
all right, so I wouldn't classify.
I don't think it was dominant.
No,
in terms of like a Max or a Lewis.
Winning half, I would argue, was quite dominant. To be fair, that's quite impressive. But I would argue he didn't follow it up the next year with 8 or 9 wins. So
no,
sorry,
that's
Mika.
True. But if we look, Schumacher won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
So only 2 less than Mika.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. Well, yeah. Remember these times. Remember these days. They won't last forever.
So also, if you're any other fan of any other team, hopefully these days will end at some point and we'll have some other bloody national anthems on the podium. But yes, let's wrap it up there. Let's call it a day. Thank you everyone very much for listening. And thank you for the support over this, last season. I was going to say last year, but last season. It's been amazing. And we can't wait to see just how good next year's going to be either.
And we love you all.
Except Patrick, unless you do
Except
one more
Patrick.
rep. You do one more rep.
Yeah. No, 2 more reps. 2 more reps.
2? Oh, I was asking a bit much.
I got 2 more reps, man. Oh no, let's do 3 for each championship that Verstappen has.
Sure, yeah. All right. Cheers.
Should we make him do a rep for each lap Verstappen's led?
Yeah, Patrick. 1,003 reps. Go now. Do it.
Okay. Thank you all for listening. See you next week, but also next season.
See you soon. Enjoy the winter break.